All right, so for this class of just starting out the registration process for the ABR designation, that's all we're doing today is just getting us registered. So that way then on our own, we can take the course, we can do the content and get the 12 hours in. We will be doing 2 check-ins in the coming weeks throughout this month just to see how it's going, hold ourselves accountable, make sure that we are actually moving towards that end goal of becoming ABR designees. Because yeah, it's the most valuable of the designation courses that NAR offers, and so it's cool that we get to do it for free. So I'm going to share the screen. So to start out, you have just if you were to go to abr.realtor, you have the course here. This website, though, is not actually where you need to go. This website just sends you around in circles for the most part. What you actually want to go to is, I'm assuming when I click through different tabs, are you guys now able to see that I'm in learning.realtor?
Yeah, how did you get there though? You just,
Okay, so yeah, if you just do, I'm gonna learning.realtor. If you just go to
okay,
learning.realtor on your
okay,
website, all right?
okay.
And then you're gonna have a page that looks like this that you could search for topic or yeah, right now I'm logged in, but let's say I'm going to log out of Tanya.
Appreciate that.
Yes. So when you go to learning.realtor, it should just be very, you're not logged in and you're just here. So I'm going to search for ABR. And this is, the actual system where we get the different classes that give us, the
Okay,
certifications and all that stuff.
excuse me.
Why is it not actually? All right. So by ABR, now you can see here there's 24 total. I'm going to, yeah, by actually doing the ABR thing there, it takes it down to 15. Now, if you look here though at these classes, these all have dates. And we don't want these ones that have dates because this is for if you actually want to sit through a live webinar that's interactive. And because they're offering these classes for free, they have filled up all the way through. The next available one is July. And we're trying to do this in the month of April. So all of these on this first page are the live interactive. But if you go to load more, you get to this final one. And so yeah, normally it'd be $590, but because we're NAR members, we get it for free right now. And this one does not have any dates. It's not the Canadian edition. It's just this is the normal class. And so you could click buy now. And it's going to then prompt you to sign in. Now, getting your NAR sign in is probably the most difficult part of this whole process. Because if you don't currently know it, then you're going to need your NRDS number. It looks like if you do your forgot username, password, and you want to retrieve your username, you need your 9-digit number. And you can find your member ID number by going here, enter last name and email, or enter last name. Like you have the whole troubleshooting process to get your number, which will then get your username, which then, when you have your username and your password, you then, so for me, I can do that, sign in. Now I've already bought the class, but so if I hadn't, this button right here would instead be, asking me to register for the class for free. But that's what your screen would look like at this point if you had your login info and typed it in. And so then, once you are registered for the class, then you can just launch it. And this is a little less intuitive. Let's go back, restart, just go back to the very beginning. Okay, so they try to pretend that this is what you first see when you open it up. And you have the instructions for navigating the course, and they talk about this arrow up here at the top right, the next arrow. In reality though, be very careful and don't actually use this arrow, because that will take you to the next thing in this left-hand column, but that's not what we're trying to do. What we need to do is actually get through these things. So yeah, okay, we can use the next button here to take us to the presentation. But once we're in this presentation, then I'm on like slide 4, but you start out on slide 1. And if at any point, like you do the slide and then you click next, it's going to jump you from presentation to the student manual. And you then got to get back to the presentation because we've got to get through all 28 of these slides to finish with this presentation part. And now,
So forgive me. So
yes,
once you hit presentation,
yes.
how do you go through that?
So, so you
I'm
have
not sure I
these,
saw you.
yeah, you have these arrows on the bottom right.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's, we're on slide 2 of 28. And so it says click the next button, but you don't want to do that. You do not want to click the next button.
Yeah, right.
Button, and it takes me to the student manual. And I was like, well, crap, I'm not done with the presentation. So I gotta go back to the presentation, reload that. And now what you'll also see is with this presentation, the slides, a lot of them, and I mean, the whole point of them is you have to actually watch the stuff. So, if I had not yet gotten through this slide, I could not click to slide 4. But because I had done slide 3 already and I had listened to that whole thing, I can move on to slide 4. But I've not watched this video. There's a video here that, it says click the play button to watch the video. If I try to go to slide 5 right now, it's going to tell me that I can't because I've not experienced all the elements of the slide. And so I need to experience a bit more in this class in order to move on to slide number 5. So I need to click the play button, let it play in its entirety. Then down here, it'll say, okay, you can click next, but do not click next. You want to hit the arrow to
Yeah.
take you to the next slide. Because if you hit the next button, even though you've watched this entire video, you hit the next button, it's going to go to the student manual, then you're going to come back to the presentation and you're going to try to go to the next slide and you'll have to rewatch the video. So I've
Oh,
already
yeah.
experienced that just with this third slide.
Oh, that's a that's good to know.
Yes, so this class is going to take a little bit of figuring out how to properly navigate in the least frustrating way possible. Now, what's important though is to recognize it's all good in a way that right now even I am getting credit for taking this course. It knows how long I have the course open, in front of me. And so this course takes 12 hours. I think you have to actually have it open for 12 hours in order to get all the credit for it. And so it's not a big deal that here I'm taking a couple minutes just to, finagle with these first couple slides. It's not totally wasted. I am getting credit. So if I now were to close out of this, and I go to, I think, my learning. Yeah, so now I'm 10 minutes in to this course. And I think it's got to get to 12 hours. And then I also have to take the test. There's other aspects to it that I have to pass, but you can't just race through it, take the test, pass the test and be done. I am pretty certain there is, some requirement here as to how long you have to have the course actually open in your browser. Since we aren't doing the live interactive version, over 2 days. We are instead doing it at our own pace. I think this is how they, try to keep us just accountable for
Well,
that.
actually, if they're giving out a designation, I get that,
Oh yeah, oh, I don't, yeah, I don't fault
Yeah.
it. I mean, been taking Con Ed virtually. I know how easy it is just to, you know,
Right,
take take it in an hour and
right.
get 6 hours of credit. But yeah, so that is basically how this course works. What
Hmm.
I highly recommend though is, yeah, once you register for it, then you want to get to that page with the launch button. Um, so I'm gonna go to the view details page. So yeah, so what I would do here is then just, set this as a bookmark in your bookmarks tab, or just do something where you can easily get back to this page. So that way then the next time you find yourself you have an hour, you can go, a little bit further into the program, you can easily click launch and get it started. So yeah, so for today, the biggest hurdle is going to be getting your login credentials for the NAR system. So being able to do that, when you get to this page here, this is the one that if you don't know what your login info is, this is going to be the most difficult part, which is a wonderful thing because it's not that difficult, but it's the annoying part. And then once you get that, then it's just a matter of, uh, making sure you know how to find the correct one without the dates, which is going to be when you hit the load more button and you get this one here that is just nice and clean, and then you can register if you haven't done so yet.
So,
So
Jordan, a quick question. So in terms of the NAR, is that username typically our email or no?
no, so it's not an email address. So for me, it was just the Genso team.
Okay. So I'll have
For
to figure out
Tanya,
what
it was just sold by Tanya Z. So it was no,
okay,
the Genso team at Gmail,
gotcha.
just a username. Password wise, mine, I didn't even use an exclamation point.
Yeah.
So I did have capitals and numbers, but I don't know if it requires like the special characters or not. I guess I did have periods in mine. Um, so, I mean, yeah, if you have some go-to passwords, you can, try to hack it yourself. But you do have the, forgot username and password thing here.
Which worked very quickly.
Yeah, which, did work quickly for Tanya to get her to retrieve her username. She did have her NRDS number,
I know, it's not.
yeah, nerds number. But
I have that. I just don't remember. I'll have to look and see.
yeah,
Like you said, yeah.
so
Mhm.
that is pretty much today, what we're doing today. And then, how much we get through between now and a week from tomorrow, when we do our check-in. Well, hey, we're doing this at our own pace, but the whole idea is I'm hoping to see people show up next Friday. And yeah, whether you've spent an hour in it or you've spent 8 hours in it and are almost done, show up next Friday. Let's then have a discussion. Okay, what is the value that we're gleaning from this? Because, I mean, yeah, obviously we want to earn this designation, but in many ways, what's more important is that we actually get something out of it, that we're not just doing it for the 3 letters after our name, that we actually do absorb the content and be able to utilize it to improve our business. That's the ideal, at least. Are there any other questions at this point as to what we're doing here?
No, I'm actually good with this. It was helpful though. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
And so, Joe, I know, you had reached out to me. Was it that you were just seeing all of those the live interactive courses and, you know, all those before July have been booked up.
Been able to get this to work, even though I got my NAR card in front of me and I put in my name and my nerd's number and it says I need a different password. You go to forgot password and it's just a big loop. It goes back, but it doesn't like send me an email or something saying you need to do this to reset your password.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, maybe, I don't know if it's sending you emails at all that are maybe getting flagged as spam or junk. But if you want to, I can try to help troubleshoot that for you, after we're done here. If you wanted to, are you on your computer where you'd be able to share a screen? And I could maybe walk you through how I would go about maybe trying to set that up.
Sure. We can do it after the meeting, or if I need to, I can just run down to Brighton.
Okay, yeah, because I'm here all day. All right, are there, because, yeah, I mean, obviously, that is, yes, the most difficult part is just logging in, so that way then you can register for the class. With it being free, it's super easy to register. And then once you're registered, you just click launch and you just gotta, you know, navigate the finicky class itself. And, you know, anytime you get frustrated because you click the wrong button, just know that, hey, at least you're still contributing towards your time in front of the screen that you gotta, you know, get 12 hours of. So anything else before I stop the recording?
No. Thank you.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Thanks, Kathy.
Great. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And yeah, so Joe, if you just want to text me or call me, you know, we can set something up. But
All right. I will call you in a minute once you're done.
Bye, everyone.
yeah.
Fun.
Ciao.
Jordan, you got room for
Bye.
cartwheels? You got room for cartwheels now?
Still no room for cartwheels.
No room? Okay.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.